Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news to go cover over here and kind of an interesting topic to go discuss in regards to the upcoming next PlayStation 5 updates, and as well kind of like a somewhat easy way to fine-tune everything into one big mega update to kind of go and make a lot of past things that have been removed become somewhat relevant again, but as well kind of make a lot more of the, I guess, ever-growing ecosystem also be a little bit nicer and smoother. So we're going to go talk about this, talk about the drama, talk about everything else in between on this one. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. As well, if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on. We have a brand new $50 off promo now for Samsung, link down below if you guys want to do the sign up for that one. We also have the Twitter and Twitch link down below if you guys want to follow, and of course, let's go dive into the video itself. So, as you guys may or may not know, we've been seeing a lot of like really small and kind of somewhat bigger changes, depending on how you look at it, for consoles. And one really big thing is we've had a few new features, and some of these are called things like the Accolades that have actually been removed, although in theory, they were kind of a cool idea. It's other things like the PlayStation Stars brand new features as well, which also, once again, did seem like a pretty cool idea in theory, but at the same time, it was kind of slacking once again too. But now right now we're trying to go and think of how can we somehow make these systems usable that people would enjoy and would like, and also at one point maybe you want to go use on the day-to-day basis. And it's kind of coming into like some pretty big like now critiques and thoughts when it comes to a lot of these different types of updates. So we have Gamer over here talking about how the next PS5 update finally actually has a chance to go and kill two birds with one stone and actually kind of fine-tune up some actual systems. Now I kind of want to go make a little video on this to discuss this and talk about this because it does seem to make a lot of sense. We have like this one issue when it comes to a lot of consoles or even game companies or phones or whatever, that they'll sometimes throw in features that seem cool in theory, but never really get their full-on worth. It kind of seems like we'll go and have them, they'll hype them on up, and people maybe talk about it for a week, and after that week, literally no one cares, no one talks about it, no one does like videos or guides or TikToks or whatever might be on it. I'm sure someone does, but like just not in a really general sense, no one really cares. Like when was the last time you guys sat down and really cared about the brand new PlayStation Stars? I'll be honest, like I would actually almost be genuinely curious. I myself have not cared almost once, besides me making a few videos on it, talking about it in passing, and I'm like, it's a cool idea in theory, but it needs to kind of be stepped up a little bit more. Same thing to with the Accolades, where if you guys remember a while ago, the PlayStation 5 Accolades actually just got removed. Like the PS5 used to have cool things where it's like, hey, like here's cool stuff you to go and achieve and accomplish and everything else, and that actually ended up just being removed. Like they actually ended up getting rid of this PS5 Accolade stuff in general, and it was kind of just, well, I don't want to say sad, but it was just kind of a cool little feature that was nice, it was bonus, but it wasn't really something that a lot of people liked. Like if you guys look at these Accolades, it's like, what was it? You mean players who contribute to the community and embody PlayStation ideals. So it's kind of like a, hey, like I played Call of Duty and someone liked me. They were welcoming. They were a leader. I played Destiny 2 and they helped me on a raid. They sent me a message saying, hey, bro, don't use like this gun for this game. It's not the best. And it's cool because I did have this system and it was actually launched throughout 2020, but it kind of seemed like a lot of folks didn't really care too much about it. Like it was cool. The idea was cool, but at the end of the day, it actually just ended up getting, well, removed. It was like a really straightforward plan. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people thought it was like okay, but at the same time, there wasn't anything like really worthwhile with it. Like, do you get little discounts if you're really helpful? No. Do you get a little badge on your account? Didn't really seem like it. And would anyone even notice if you're a good person? I mean, no, but do you want, I mean, do you have to be noticed to be a good person? Obviously not, but it does help. Like, if it kind of makes you kind of seem like a leader, kind of put some pride on like what you're doing in your games, etc. Like, I could understand that. But a lot of folks just didn't care. Like, even saying having flown underneath the radar for the nearly the next 2 years, it was surprised that they got rid of it, which would make sense. But that's kind of why we're kind of in that same boat right now for other ongoing features, such as the PlayStation Stars and other various platforms out here, because they're saying like there's a chance for them to kind of collectively pull this stuff together and have a nice vibe and everything else in between. But at the same exact time, like you need to actually be on top of this. So when the PlayStation 5 launched, it came with a number of new features, some of which were well received and others that were hardly even been noticed. Once again, I think a lot of these features nowadays, even on Xbox or Switch or PC sometimes, depending on like what programs you're using, may also just be gone as unnoticed. So while the jury is still on whether the card system is any good, as some developers use it as well as others ignore it, there are some clear success and weak points. On the positive side, there is an integrated PlayStation Store that has greatly sped up the process of purchasing games. So actually I've had a chance to go and fine-tune this up, and also throughout the past few, like 6 months or so, we did see a very large, I guess, updated portion of things being announced and being like kind of fine-tuned. They had like things like more like the party system made it a little bit more efficient to see your friends and join your friends and talk, or things in the store to kind of get rid of bloatware and make it a little bit more efficient too as well. And I feel like that's a big thing when it comes to systems and OSs, just all these ever fine-tuning, like I guess, change-ups to go and find and pinpoint exactly how to make it perfect. So they're going to say on the negative end of the spectrum, though, there is the Accolade system, which is basically dead on arrival, and that's what I think some folks actually might be a little bit scared on, because these features could be better, or they could be integrated, or they could just be somehow repurposed, and I think that's a big thing to note, too. Because the Accolade system was kind of cool. It was already built. It was already there for your profiles, but no one really ever has a reason to go and check out your profiles on your PlayStation. Like, if I go and play games, I'm not usually creeping on people's profiles after I play a Call of Duty match or whatever. I'll usually kind of play the game, load next lobby, go from there. Like, I usually, if I want to make friends, they'll be on like Discord or on my own Twitch stream. I guess maybe it's different because I'm a streamer, and I kind of go from there, like meet someone on Twitter or someone who's cool in the community or whatever it might be. You know, that's kind of how I'd usually go and do it. But I don't usually kind of look at people's accolades and say, oh God, look at this guy, John, who was cool and he had a +7 on his helpful. Wow, we should go try to become his friend. But that's kind of the part too, is that it's already made. It's already there. We already have all the features and all these things. That why can't we just go and try to fine tune some different types of games together and like do things with the PlayStation Stars and maybe try to integrate that with the PlayStation Stars system, where it's like, hey, you were a good gamer. You somehow had 5 people go and accolade you throughout the last like 6 months, and that means at least someone thought you weren't the world's worst person. Let's go give you like a nice like 5% off coupon, or give you like a free month of PlayStation Plus, whatever it might be. It'd be cool if they can integrate this a little bit more. So while some people are saying like these things are cool, if they like the idea of these accolades, but sometimes there were things out there where it just wasn't needed. Like a game like Overwatch already has in-game endorsement mechanics already. So what's the point of doing a double whammy unless you really cared? And also at the same time, like you might care about someone in Overwatch, but you may not care about them if they're playing like Call of Duty or Rainbow Six Siege or Apex, whatever it might be too as well. And it's funny because they still have this. So as they go and say the PS5 Accolade section should be replaced, funny enough, with the PlayStation Stars display case. And this is one of those really rare things where I'm like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. A lot of folks may not necessarily know about this too in the first place, but like it's a cool system. Like you can make people be proud of their gaming achievements and proud of cool stuff, and maybe incentivize more folks to use PlayStation Stars, because anyone who cared about an accolade would definitely be one of those people out there who would want to have this next. I don't know, like they care about their profile, their ecosystem, what people see about them. There's nothing wrong with that. You want to be a good person. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Especially, despite being a failed experiment, PSN profiles on PlayStation 5 still display the accolades that people have actually obtained. For most players, even those with frequent online games, the section will be empty, signifying how irrelevant it even is. But once again, it's already made. They can do stuff with it. And on top of that too, with Sony discontinuing accolades, there is no option to earn anything to even fill the void. So it's basically just a massive, ugly section on their profiles that serve no purpose. However, removing it and moving on is also not ideal because they already made the systems. They already have it in the first place. So, like, why not just go and replace this and put this into the profile and make it just a little bit nicer? You can basically make, well, they kind of said, kill 2 birds with 1 stone and basically have a chance to re-incentivize this and maybe tie it into the PlayStation Stars. Because I can guarantee you guys, a lot of people probably watching this don't even care about the PlayStation Stars. Sorry, I was losing my voice. Especially by the weekend. So on uptaking, and also should take accolades off the PS5 profiles, Sony has to make sure that it has a replacement ready to go. So why don't they just go and integrate it together? If it were to move accolades without adding anything new, it would require a complete redesign on the PSN profile UI to not leave a huge, massive empty space, which seems like an absurd amount of effort since the solution already exists, and that solution is just basically putting the PlayStation Stars display case, a gimmick that is not reaching its full potential as well. So basically the article's trying to go and say either we go and want it more my interpretation, put the PS5 accolades in there, or as well we do have stuff like the PlayStation Stars where they do give out games for signing on in or playing games or doing random stuff. Yeah, why not? Like, it's already there. The section's already there. So why not just go and do it? You know, like it's basically just a copy and paste, plug it on in there on either side, and it kind of once again would incentivize more people to do the PlayStation Stars in the first place. Like, either they want to make sure they're having people in the system. It doesn't end up becoming a dud like how accolades were, or bring accolades in there to tie it into the PlayStation Stars, and it's like a double whammy either side. So in theory, the PlayStation Stars is an excellent service. I think it seems potential there. It's not being fully utilized, but it is there, as members can rack up points just for purchasing games or completing challenges in the PlayStation exclusives and third-party titles. But once again, people need to know about it. I'm not even sure how many of you guys even know that are watching this video about what even the ongoing monthly things for PlayStation Stars even is, or if they've even had a chance to get a deal so far, or even signed up for it. And that's, I think, also a problem. You need to go and incentivize folks to want to go do it. So if you can kind of fine-tune all this stuff and like bring like 3 or 4 side things that may just get taken away, or try to go and fine-tune things and put more attention onto it, might as well, like people might actually like in the first place. So these points can then be redeemed, obviously, for these PlayStation currencies. So once again, what if you got like bonuses for being a good person and for accolades, and people kept giving you bonus points, and then that also incentivizes people to want to use it, maybe do more PlayStation Stars, maybe see more challenges, keep the ecosystem alive, keep multiplayer alive, and maybe even make more people be happy folks on the online online multiplayer side because I want to get those accolades to go and, well, get all these games maybe for cheaper, you know what I mean, or in the first place. So they do want to say the display case is really only seen for players adding the balloons and models to it, as few players will ever check their friends' profiles. I have, honest to God, never done it so far, but at the same time, if they incentivize the stuff and make it a little bit better and cooler, there might be more of a reason for people to go checking it out in the first place. So I don't know, I think there's actually a cool idea to either swap out the accolades itself or go and just include this in there and make it a little bit bigger and make it more active, integrated with the PlayStation Stars, or as well just throw in all the cool achievements you've gotten so far as well. So give me your thoughts and comments on that down below. Would love to hear your thoughts as well. Check out the hot link for the Samsung deal. They have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below if you guys want to follow, and all the Amazon links too as well. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.